Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Welcome back to another episode of HRTea After Dark. Is that getting old? Should I stop doing that? Today we're going to be watching transphobic TikToks that came up on my For You page. I said, let's see how many transphobic TikToks I can find within an hour. And it happened. You'd be fucking surprised what TikTok allows, first of all, but we'll get into that. The first 2 or 3 videos I have are, I think from, what's her name, Sarah Higdon, don't know, but she was a conservative in the Jubilee video with Shane and Blossom, who were on my podcast. You should go check that out if you haven't already. But yeah, let's just fucking start.
The audience that Dylan promotes to is mostly children. And so Bud Light's promoting to children. That's one. Also, Dylan got famous by perpetuating sexist stereotypes of women, you know. And then when you really go down the rabbit hole and you see that Dylan still has a beard, you know, has all this money, has had facial reconstructive surgery, but still has beard shadow, doesn't understand what orange color corrector can do. And then when you actually see like the picture in the bathing suit, I don't think Dylan's on hormones. Otherwise,
That was
Dylan
so
would not
cringy.
look so skinny. And like no development at all. So, you know, celebrities do crazy things like Madonna get facial reconstructive surgery just to, you know, for crazy reasons. And so that makes sense that that's what Dylan's doing, is doing it for money. You know, I don't really talk about Dylan Mulvaney that much just because Dylan annoys me, but I also don't do it because I don't feel like punching down. And people are like, Dylan has 10 million followers. I'm like, no, I don't put myself below anybody, okay? Like, that's the key. I hate this notion of punching down, but I will punch down at Dylan. It's okay.
Sarah, you're cracking me up.
Oh, I thought at the end he said, "Sir, you crack me up," but I think he said Sarah. You know what pisses me off the most about these kinds of videos is the transphobic person who like invited this transphobic person onto their podcast or whatever to give them views. Like, you know the opinions this person has, and you were like, oh my god, that'll get me some fucking views. Again, this is why men should have podcasts. Okay, but also she was like, I don't put myself below anybody. Bitch, you are below Dylan Mulvaney. She is too good for you. And I don't know why you're coming at like the way she looks, how she does her makeup, how skinny she is. Who the fuck are you? You are on one Jubilee video. You are not famous. And I think you're just jealous of Dylan's fame. Also, this whole fucking Bud Light thing. Why are we still talking about this? Why are we still talking about this? Dylan herself doesn't even fucking talk about it anymore. Like, she's moved on. She's over it. And if she can be over it and move on, why are you still talking about it? Because it's getting you clout? Because you're doing it for money? Or you're trying to do it for money? Just like you're blaming Dylan Mulvaney's doing? Especially, I don't think that girl is doing anything for money. I don't think she's doing a damn thing for money. You can tell that Dylan is so passionate and so supportive of people who are like her and who support her, because it's what she's passionate about. It's what she loves to do. You're just here to hate. You're here to make fun of people on the internet. Okay?
Now look, we all know Demi is a deeply troubled person, as most child stars are, but I want to point out the ramifications of her stages as a non-binary person. My girl Blair White nailed it when she tweeted, Demi Lovato is now detransitioning, which for her means switching pronouns again. Many kids she helped to misinform about transgenderism are not as lucky and won't make it out without missing body parts. Many non-binary kids followed Demi in this path, but some went further. Some got their breasts removed, some took hormones and puberty blockers because it was promoted as cool by a celebrity and media. They made changes to their body that can't be reversed now.
That is the biggest load of fucking bullshit I have ever seen in my life. I love Demi Lovato. I have loved Demi Lovato since I was 13 years old. She has always been my number one. My girlfriend's number one too. We love Demi Lovato. Demi Lovato was a very broken person for a long time, and I think we all know that. And I don't know what that had anything to do with her changing her pronouns, but I know you had to say it. If there's a person out there who changed their pronouns or underwent surgery or like became trans because of fucking Demi Lovato, that's hilarious. That is so funny. Because if that happened, because that did not fucking happen. Like, show me one person who was like, oh, Demi Lovato now goes by they, them. Demi Lovato's now trans? Okay, I want to be too. That's absolutely ridiculous. Just because she's famous and people are always fucking watching her like a fucking hawk, that means she can't be true to who she is. She can't change her pronouns because she's famous. Oh my God, famous people are allowed to have identities too, you know? And if a person actually was like, oh, Demi Lovato's doing that, I want to do that too. A kid, even a kid, that's their fault. Or their parents' fault. Like, okay, that right there is treating being trans as a trend. And that's not the trans person's fault. That's the people who aren't actually sitting with themselves and listening to their wants and needs and desires. And like, they're not asking the serious questions. And like, if you are over the age of 18 being trans because Demi fucking Lovato changed her pronouns, you have serious fucking issues. It's not Demi's fault, okay? It's not Poot's fault. Leave Poot alone. She changed her pronouns to they, them. I could be wrong, but I think now it's she, they. What the fuck why does everybody come for Poot? I love Poot, okay? Like, I guess I can understand why people were like, see, this means being trans is a phase because she switched her pronouns and then switched them again and like stopped being so non-binary. But like, oh my God, gender is fluid. She had a moment where she wanted to like switch it up a bit. Oh my God, send her to prison. Send her to prison. She chose they, them pronouns for a little bit. I love the new era of Demi. I hope she never leaves it. Her music is better and I love it. So fuck you and your small mind. Next.
You know why there's so much quote-unquote transphobia? Because you expect people to violate their own reality, what they know to be true, in order to accommodate you. You are bullying everybody else. It's not everybody else bullying you. The real bully is the fucking 0.04% of people that are out there costing people their jobs and their reputation and calling them transphobic when they're very simply identifying something that a 3-year-old child can identify. If that's how you want to live, cool. But don't force it on people. Don't fuck with kids. Live your own life the way you want to live it. And for the most part, people are going to leave you alone.
I like how he was like, there's so many of you telling people what to do and making people twist their own reality by respecting your pronouns and abiding to your feelings. And then he was like, basically admitted that it's only 0.04 of people doing that. Like, if there's such a little amount of people, why is it affecting you so much? You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up, dude. Do I really need to say anything about that? Like, I can't stand men who look like that and who are like, pronouns this, pronouns that. Shut up. I don't know who this person is, but I don't know why you think anybody gives a damn of what you're talking about. Y'all know how I feel about that. I'm not changing your reality. I'm not being a bully by asking you to respect people's pronouns. And if you want to not use my pronouns or any other trans person's pronouns, I would bet my life. We don't care, and we're not here for you. So pipe down, little man. Sit down. Go to bed, cry a bit, and then move on. You don't have to make a whole fucking video about it, because that's embarrassing and you look stupid.
They used a man trying to be a female to promote beer, right?
An American, all-American.
If you're gonna use a female, why not use a female that was born a female, that's capable of birthing children and raising them? How about dealing with a period every single month? Why not just give a woman that position?
Right.
What the fuck happened to Roman Atwood? Can we talk about that for a second? I saw this and I was like, isn't this the guy who used to say smile more? I mean, I wasn't like a huge fan of Roman Atwood or anything, but like I watched him when I was younger. I thought he was a great guy. And then I saw this and I was like, oh my God, what's happening in this video? He goes, we used a man who pretends to be a female to make a commercial about beer. He goes, beer. Like women don't drink beer? What? I think what he was trying to say there was, why not just use a hot girl, a hot real girl? If you want to sell beer for the men, why not use a really hot girl who was barely wearing any clothes, who gets their period and can birth a child? What does getting your period have to do with beer? Is he okay? I've read some comments that like his mom died or something and then he just went all downhill from there. I don't know, but that's not an excuse. That's giving fucking crazy. That's giving like mental issues. Having a period, childbirth, beer commercial. What? If a cis woman shot that commercial and wasn't nude, or wasn't giving sex appeal, would you still be sitting here like, why would they choose a woman to do this? Hashtag what happened, Roman Atwood?
You said that you're a trans woman.
I trans female, yes, ma'am, sir.
Do you have a penis?
That's horrible.
You're the one that brought that into the discussion.
I
You're the one that
never
brought that
said
into
anything
discussion.
about genitalia.
Oh, it
Is
has
that-
everything to do with
Okay.
genitalia.
I'm not going to answer that question. That's
Okay.
highly inappropriate.
Again, you can say that, and that's you're right. So,
Okay, I'm a
there any
healthcare
other-
professional,
are
a
there any other
doctor. Please
questions?
treat me as such.
Period, queen. What? Who in God's name would ask about somebody's genitalia in a room full of people? I love that the crowd's reaction to that was, ew, no, wrong question. Could you imagine? You're in a room full of people and someone's like, do you have a penis? What does it look like down there? And then the motherfucker had the nerve. He had the nerve to say, well, you're the one who started it. It's always been about genitalia. No, men like that need to be behind bars, okay? You need to be in a mental institution. To think that because the conversation was about trans people and how she identifies as a trans woman, that she invited you to talk about her genitals? What? Why are you so curious? Let's start there. Why do you want to know? Why did you want to embarrass this trans woman? And what point were you trying to make? Say she wasn't uncomfortable by it and she was like, yes, I do. I want to know what would have happened after that. Would you have been like, okay, pull your pants down. Let me see. I'm trying to... You're only asking because you want to know. You a little fruity. And that's okay. Just admit it instead of being transphobic. Because like if it was a cis woman or a cis man talking about gender or sexuality, you would not have asked that question. And it's weird that just because somebody identifies as the opposite gender, that you feel like you have the right to know what's going on in their pants. I bet you treat women wonderfully. Oh! Anywho.
yes.
Tula, I'd like to make a statement to you, and I don't mean to offend you. I think you're a wonderful girl. But I would not buy that Playboy magazine, much less even glance at it.
Tell me why.
She's not a girl. You're not a girl.
Yeah, and so therefore you don't even want to look at it. What might happen if you looked at it?
You're the one that wanted to go in the dressing room. Why didn't you want to go in there? I wouldn't go in there.
Because you're a man and you don't want to be caught with anybody who used to be, right?
He's a closet.
No, don't.
He's closeted.
No.
He's closeted. Forget him.
You think he does?
Yes. He's got more of a problem than I had.
Period. You know what I fucking hate about that? He said some awful fucking shit about her. He said, I wouldn't want to look at you. You're not a real girl. I wouldn't want to fucking take a glance at you naked. That's disgusting is basically what he fucking said. And then the moment she says something to clap back, just a little, because what she said wasn't offensive, because being gay is not offensive. Being in the closet is not offensive. But the moment she clapped back just a little bit, the whole room got quiet. Everyone got uncomfortable and they were like, whoa, you can't say that. Whoa, you can't say that to a cis man. That's bad. God for fucking bid a woman, a trans woman, but a woman stands up for herself, right? And I bet you she's right. That man's gay. If he's so scared to look at a trans woman's body. How could you look at her and say, that's not a real girl? Look at her. She's fucking beautiful. And because you know, you're gonna judge her and say you don't want to see her naked body in a magazine. This whole video is just me fucking making noises. This one is a video of my friend Ernie. I don't know when the next podcast episode's going to drop when you see this, but Ernie was on the podcast. It could be out already by the time you see this, I'm not sure. But I fucking love Ernie. Ernie's my fucking dog. We had such great conversations. I love this fucking man, okay?
I don't give a fuck if you're calling me a woman. If you're spouting shit like this online, you should be on a list somewhere. And this is how I know damn well that these people are basement dwellers, because if they left their houses, they would be convicted of some sort of crime and be put away in prison somewhere. And the funny thing about it is, I'm so unbothered by the fact that you call me a woman. Like, I'm I'm up right now. I like the man that I am. Your punishment is you have to live with yourself. Your punishment is that for you to feel like even marginally a little bit better about yourself, feel some kind of relief, you have to post shit like this online for a little bit of attention. That's all you're seeking. You just want some attention from somebody. And all the engagement you're giving me, I mean, I see you all the time. You comment on every single fucking video. You're only boosting my engagement and therefore increasing the visibility of trans people and trans lives. Like I said, I'm up, and your punishment is the fact that you have to live with yourself saying shit like this.
Period, Ernie. Fucking period. I couldn't have said it better myself. I cannot believe that there's people out there like that, like the person who commented, and I can't believe that they go even farther to admit that online, that they're a literal R-word. I think you just outed yourself, first of all. Second of all, it's coming off like you're transphobic and you don't like that Ernie's trans. But by saying that, it's giving that you sexualize the shit out of trans people. Like, that's how it always is. That's how it always fucking is. These men who claim they hate trans people and that it's a mental illness and they're crazy, let's take a look at their Pornhub history, because that shit is what you'll fucking find. I want to see every transphobe's fucking search history. How could you be so hateful and then behind closed doors think it's hot? You fetishize it. It's weird. That's a mental illness. That right there, mental illness. Ernie, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry that person commented that. I've gotten fucking comments just like that one, and it's horrifying. Ernie said it best, like, you think we fucking care? The part where he called Ernie's sister is like not even, like, that just, I don't even give a fuck about that. Like, just as Ernie, that wouldn't bother me at all. And it's so funny that that person thought otherwise. But it's the grape part that's really concerning. And if you think that was fucking funny, oh my god. That's the mindset of transphobes that nobody fucking talks about, is that if they're hating on you, they want to fuck you. These next two videos are of this trans woman called Eden the Doll. I think Juju actually put a thing in the Discord for me to talk about her, and I've been hearing her name a lot. I've heard she's like a Blair White wannabe. Don't know why you would ever want to be that, but I saw these two videos and obviously had a problem with them, so let's watch.
You're not transgender, then you're cisgender.
Why is it always people who aren't biological women correcting others on what to call women? I'm trans and I can't stand the word cis. If trans people want everyone to call them by their preferred pronouns, then why must we enforce the word cis on people who don't want to be called it? It makes no sense, cis. And I'm all for acknowledging the difference between a biological woman and a trans woman. But that's why we're called trans women, and they are simply just women. Say it with me, they are women. Just women. It doesn't take away from trans women by acknowledging this. And guess what? I'm not offended to be called a trans woman because I'm not ashamed to be trans. It doesn't hurt me at all to make that distinction. If we have any respect for women, then the word cis has to go away completely. Because cis and sister is the only way I'll be using it.
That's just so stupid to me. Like, that's just so dumb. If you want to take the word cis away, but you're okay with people calling you a trans woman, I'm not gonna tell you what people should call you. Like, whatever you want to be called is fine. I don't care if you want to call yourself a cis woman. I would say, okay, that's this woman. Like, I don't care. It's you. I don't give a shit. But to let cis people call you a trans woman and only a trans woman, and like they have to identify you as a trans woman and not a woman, is problematic to me. Why do you even need that distinction? If there's going to be a distinction, then there needs to be two, cis woman and trans woman. Either we take trans and cis out of it, or both are going to be called cis and trans. Like, does that make sense? Like, I'm not about to sit here and let cis people think that they can put me lower than them. Like, no, if you need to identify me, I'm gonna identify you, bitch. I'm gonna make that fucking distinction. You want the distinction so bad? Okay, sissy. I don't give a fuck how you feel about the word cis, because trans people have spent literal years and years and years of being fucking hate crime, being harassed, being murdered. We're gonna sit here and go, okay, you don't want to be called cis? It's fine. I want to respect you. Fuck you. You can handle the word cis, okay? You can handle it. Trans people have been through enough, all right? Like, and you call us the snowflakes. If you're a cis person watching this and you don't like when people use the word cis, then fine. Then don't call trans people trans. I want you to just call them men and women then. It's a two-way fucking street. But see, most trans people don't care if you call us trans or not. We don't fucking care because we are proud to be ourselves, which is something you people don't have, clearly.
When a kid tells you that they're transgender, believe them. A lot of people will say that it's impossible for a 4-year-old.
Why is it always people that don't have kids that are speaking for children? I'm trans and I've been a stepmother for the last 2 years. He's 5 now and has no idea that I'm transgender. He's not ready for that conversation, and we don't plan to tell him for a very long time until he's old enough to understand. 5-year-olds believe Santa Claus exists. And the fact you can sit there and tell me a 3, 4, 5-year-old is mentally competent enough to transition is fucking insane and borderline predatory. I'm thankful I waited until I was an adult, because as a child, I would not have been mentally ready for how serious a transition is. What baffles me is that these radicals think that transitions are so normal and not a big deal. My stepson, for example, loves pink and loves Barbies. And trust me, I'm all for breaking gender norms, but none of that means that he's trans. These people think children must medically transition to be validated, but they want grown men to be validated even without a transition whatsoever. Wild. It's not safe or morally ethical to allow children to transition. Let kids be kids.
I'm so tired of having this conversation. The video that this girl is stitching here was from Lily Tino, whatever her last name is. I did a video on her. You should go watch it. I said how I feel about her. I don't think she's the best person. But in this video, I don't know where she was going with it until this person rudely cut her off. Like, if I was a parent right now, I would not let my kid transition at 4 years old, okay? But hear me out. If my kid says they're trans, I'd believe them. I wouldn't let them medically transition until they lived their life for years as a trans person, or until they turned 18. I wouldn't let them transition. And that is how 99.9% of trans people feel. I am telling you right now, okay? I am speaking for the trans community right now. And again, you're a trans person making the trans community look like we're fucking pedophiles. For what? What is that doing for you? Making you look a little bit better for the cis people? And like she said, her nephew or something like likes Barbies and pink, and that doesn't mean that they're trans. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't. Let kids be kids, 100%. But like, that's two totally different things. Lily was saying, if your kid tells you that they're trans, believe them. And you said, well, my nephew likes pink and Barbies. That doesn't make him trans. Two totally different conversations there. From what I can see, your nephew hasn't said that they're trans. They just like pink and Barbies. Yes, let kids be kids, but also listen to your fucking kid. If your kid is sitting there screaming from the rooftops that they're uncomfortable with their body and that they want to be a boy or a girl, then what are you going to do? Sit there and say no, even though you're trans? Like, are you You're the problem. You are the problem. I'm tired of having that fucking same conversation. Y'all know how I feel about it. I think it's fucking stupid. And just as she said, let kids be kids. They're gonna explore whoever they want to be, and you have to let them do that. I'm not saying you should put your fucking 4-year-old on hormones. I think that's fucked up. Yeah, I do. But trans people aren't out here doing that. Y'all are making that shit up. You're making it up. That's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed the chaos that was this video. Let me know if you want to see me do more just random things that pop up on my For You page. Fucking TikTok, I don't know why they let this shit exist and then fucking tell me my videos are hate crime. Like, I don't get it, never will, whatever. Turn on my post notifications. I post every Tuesdays and Fridays, and I stream on Twitch on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join my Discord. Subscribe to my Patreon if you want to support me and my podcast and After Dark. I want to continue to do these videos, and it would be really, really helpful for me if you subscribed. I love y'all so much, and I will see you next week. Okay, bye. Bye.